Hello everyone! This video is a short introduction to a video game idea we've had and are planning to work on in the future. Basically, we want to explain the concept to you, hoping that we can convince some of you to help us out. So let us begin. The game is supposed to be a strategy board game with cards, and the cards themselves are square shaped. This is the board. It has 9 squares with 9 tiles each and 10 connectors. It looks a bit like a chessboard but divided. The theme of the game will be a mixture of medieval, mythical and fantasy elements, like you can have for example dragons or dwarves or whatever. The gameplay itself will be turn-based, and on a turn you can spawn cards, move cards, use special abilities or challenge other cards. Oh yeah, and the project is supposed to be 3D. So how do cards work? One card can be placed on one square. No multiple cards can be placed on the same square, obviously. And cards can move in specific ways, like in chess. Cards have an occupation strength, they have hit points, they can deal a certain amount of damage, and they have a range in which their occupation strength applies. So how do you control a tile? All tiles that fall within your range can be contested. If no enemy contests the tile, you occupy it. If there is an enemy troop that contests your tile by also having occupation strength over it, the one with the higher occupation strength occupies it. You can't spawn cards in squares where the enemy controls more tiles than you do, and you can't spawn cards in tiles that are controlled by the enemy, obviously. If you control all connectors to a specific square, the enemy can no longer place troops inside of that square. So the connectors need to be killed first. You cannot move your cards onto a tile with enemy occupation. You can contest enemy controlling supremacy by placing a card next to the controlled tiles. If you have more occupation strength than the enemy card, you will control the contested tiles. The win condition is that you control 6 squares. One square counts as controlled when you own over 50% of all tiles on it, or if the enemy player resigns. A draw can also be agreed on by both players. So how does fighting work? A card can directly challenge enemy cards if it controls at least one of their neighboring tiles and has occupation strength over the enemy card. Then they can challenge the enemy card and potentially insta-kill them. If that's not the case, a card can attack enemy cards if they are in their range, dealing their attack damage to the enemy card. So they don't need to control tiles, they just need to be in their range to deal the normal amount of attack damage. A card gets destroyed when falling below 0 HP. There is also a special currency, and the amount of currency you gain is relatively proportional to the tiles you own, if there aren't further factors influencing that, of course. You need the currency to kill an enemy card, spawn new cards yourself, or for special attacks. So this is just the initial concept, many things will change over the course of the development. Also important to mention are that we use Unity and C# for our project, and we plan on adding multiplayer and single player for this game. If you are convinced that this idea is good and doable and you want to help, you can join our Discord, link is in the description, and let us know. If you aren't there to help, you can still join. We really need everything, like 3D designers, 2D designers, programmers, sound designers, UI designers, music makers, and so on and so forth. Thank you for your time and your attention, and have a good day.